I'm Francine Belaï and I'm at the Sound Women Future Festival at the BBC New Broadcasting House. This second festival is based around the theme of the future because the future is now. It is aimed to equip the participants with the tools they need to future-proof their career in radio and audio. There are hundreds of women and few men here in this iconic radio theatre, ready to hear from an amazing lineup of women in this industry.
I think we are here because we would like the future to be fair. And the reason why the future should be fair is if you look at the extraordinary amount of talent that is going to be displayed on the stage in the radio theatre, it's just important that we all know that that is there because it's the very best that we can offer, it's the very best in terms of creativity, it's the very best that we can come up with, and we just deserve to have it celebrated. You all deserve to be celebrated, and that's part of the reason that we're here today.
The Northern thing was more obvious to me when I was a radio journalist. The women thing less obvious, though it should have also been clear. I moved to Galaxy Radio in Manchester to be a breakfast news reader, and the idea was I was going to read the bulletins and that. And but unfortunately, they just brought an American consultant in at this time. If anyone's worked in a radio station at a time when they've brought an American consultant in, you'll know that they have interesting ideas on things. And this consultant, Dennis, he said that because there was already a female breakfast presenter on Galaxy, if I read the bulletins as well, it would just confuse the listeners. This was 2001, not 1862. But I just kind of accepted that. I was like, oh, yeah.
Out of every 5 solo voices on radio, only 1 is female. That shocked me, and that's why I'm here. Why are you here?
Because I am a female voice on radio. It's something I'm proud to be. It's something that I'm hopefully there will be more of.
4 others for every 5 are men.
I know, which is mind-blowing to me because I'm surrounded by incredible women, like behind and in front of the mic, like every day. So even hearing that statistic, it shocks me.
Does it shock you in the room?
Yeah.
Okay. What I want to do is the bit that you have in common with a lot of men I know, and that is you started any job you could find at KISS.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tell us about the start. Everyone needs to be inspired by this. Man or woman, what was the marketing department? Tell me about it.
Well, I was actually employed by a woman, and by the way, the head of marketing at KISS is still a woman, which is wonderful, called Emma Roscoe, who's brilliant. And I basically met her when I finished university, and I went in there basically trying to get this 3-month internship marketing assistant type role. And from all I knew, it was only going to last for 3 months. They just said, look, we just need someone to help out, like whether it's,
carry umbrellas.
Yeah, ordering sweets for the street team, doing admin, giving out flyers.
And was this a Trojan horse? You were going to get in and you didn't really want to market for a living?
Well, this is the thing. I was just happy to be in there.
Audio is a lot more engaging. It is also so much easier to produce than video. The way I see myself contributing to audio in the future is by getting stories that people in the radio industry may not be able to get to necessarily, and get them in the voices that can tell them. This is one of the reasons why I think Podium.me is very valuable. Podium.me journalists like us are able to get stories from young people about their lives and their perspectives. Most audio I hear nowadays doesn't necessarily represent young people's voices and doesn't tell their stories very often. Podcasts can be shared easily and they don't have to be long. They can be about anything at all. So I hope in the near future I'll be able to get information on current events directly from people who know about them and put it out there for others to enjoy and understand.
We were on Breakfast TV News recently doing a piece of women of a certain age in the high street. Why, we noticed, and commented on were all the mannequins without wrinkles, without bingo wings, without a spare tyre. I mean, really, older women are just being ignored. We're always, in one way or another, fighting the corner for older women.
Yeah, and you know the programme with Frank Skinner, where unwanted items are put into Room 101? Well, we are making sure that older women of a certain age, are not put in Room 101. Having said that, Room 101 could be the cool place to be.
Yeah, I think we could make it quite a party down there, actually. We could get fireworks and we could get going like this.
In our effort to raise the profile of women in media, when Livy interviewed Miliband, and after all, we had wanted more women on banknotes, so we thought,
what about us?
What about us?
We'd be great on banknotes, a couple of older women, yeah.
Take a listen to us with Ed Miliband.
So one of the things you were talking about a little while ago was about having women on our banknotes. We've got Jane Austen. Is that enough? Do we need more women on banknotes?
We definitely need more. We can have some suffragettes, Emmeline Pankhurst. There are lots of people that we could have on banknotes.
Chrissy and I.
Yeah, you're definitely candidates.
I'm
You're
going to
definitely
quote this.
candidates. I'm going to mention that to the new governor of the Bank of England, that you're up there. You're on the short list.
So that was the Right Honourable Ed Miliband. Well, we might well have the banknotes for 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're still waiting.
Still waiting.
You know, we'll have to wait for that. But then we think, is there a future for women of a certain age to continue in radio until we have had enough?
Think you need to make your mind up.
For me, it's onwards and onwards till my brain stops working and my mouth stops speaking.
And it doesn't really matter if your legs stop working, does it? Because we're always sitting down in the studio anyway.
Come in a Zimmer frame. Come in your armchair. It's fine.
Why stop a good thing?
I know we need to stop, and just before we stop, let's tell you about how we were challenged by conductor Charles Hazelwood of Radio 2 fame to a live, get us, rap slam competition.
Not only that, it was judged by Adrian Upley of the supergroup Portishead. Anyway, we want to share the chorus with you.
2 lines and we're off, because we get the line. Off. We're women of a certain age.
We've got hormonal rage.
And we get hot. And you know what? You get bothered.
Livy and Chrissy, can't wait for the banknotes. Which denomination do you reckon? 50? Go right for 50. Hello, Kerry.
Hello, can you see me?
This is the first time Skype has ever worked for the BBC. Everyone say hello to Kerry. Hello. It's not just me in my house, Kerry. No. So, Kerry, first of all, could you just explain what PRX is?
Yes,
Thanks.
and PRX was founded in 2003, and in the very early days of the internet. We were founded as a digital distribution company, and the reason why that's significant is because prior to us coming on the scene in public radio, audio files were all distributed either by satellite or literally by people mailing CDs to program directors at stations. So we created an open marketplace that was a place where producers could upload their audio files, and public radio stations could come and license those files. And so our intent was to reduce the friction in the distribution channel and increase the diversity and the pathways and the shelf life of audio programs.
Well, let me say first of all, in case I'm sort of here as the token antediluvian, ancient program maker from when dinosaurs roamed the earth.
Quarter-inch tail.
Well, first of all, I absolutely celebrate what you might call the audio renaissance.
Yeah.
I think it's completely wonderful that everything is popping up all over and that people are making pieces of different lengths, audiobooks on the one hand, you can listen over 12 hours to something, clip it, you can get, something about what's happening in Syria in 50 seconds. This is brilliant, actually. I think it's fantastic, and I think what will happen is that these kind of things will feed back into what happens in the radio networks. You know, there isn't a commissioner, after all, out there, not BBC, not commercial, who doesn't wonder why their programmes haven't been downloaded 40 million times like Serial. You know, so that, you know, all the thing comes round to you about, you know, programmes you want, and then at the bottom they've said in kind of, you know, small handwriting almost, if any of you have got an idea like Serial, we'd really like to hear it, you know. My only worry is, you know, it's very easy to go online, and after all, there are 10 million either downloads or streaming of podcasts in Britain every week. That's a huge number. But my point is that where, you know, it's sort of out with the old, in with the new. Let me just one word of caution, and that is that in this hugely crowded market, it will be quality ultimately that counts. Because if you can go online and see 100 best sports podcasts, 100 best arts or entertainment, 100 best podcasts about Pilates, for God's sake, you know.
So saturated.
Most of it will go. It's amateur hour, a lot of it, you know, come up to my bedroom, we'll make a podcast, it'll be great, you can tell me all about your crochet work. It will go. It will go. You can't make a living like that.
No, you can't. You need to be able to monetize this as well.
Absolutely.
That's the next
thing.
thing.
I think, you know, there are two really important things. One is that the quality, the journalistic quality about what's a story, how to tell the story, how to edit the story, how to make it feel like something that is engaging, is going to continue to take your attention. That's the one thing. And the second thing is that advertisers are moving into this world big time because they want this mobile content audience. It's cheap, it's easy, and if you can get to 40 million people through Serial, what's not to like about that?
Stick an advert on the front.
But it's funny, like, when you are born wobbly, the doctors view it so negatively and they kind of really frame it in a very tragic way for your parents. And one of the reasons I wanted to write the book was to say, everyone has struggles and suffers in life, you know.
Absolutely.
Just because you're not born with a normal body, it doesn't mean you're going to suffer more. And any suffering I've encountered hasn't been because I've been wobbly. It's because I've lived in a world which can't handle difference. And I think that's what we should be eradicating, not bloody, you know, difference itself, because I think difference makes the world beautiful, you know, diversity makes us connect and grow. It took a long time.
Sorry, you're being inspirational.
Oh, God.
I'm just saying, sorry.
Well, you know, occasionally in my waking hours, I am accidentally inspirational. I apologise. But, no, it took me a long time to view my difference as a positive, and I think that's a really important step for any of us, because I think, like, honestly, the key reason I wrote this book is because we live in a culture which teaches us constantly to be dissatisfied with ourselves and to hate our own body. And I think that is such a crime, because our bodies give us life. And we should wake up every day and thank them and think we won illustrious life, we got to exist. And that is amazing. And I think I just really want to help challenge that awful culture, because it concentrates on what we don't have and it breeds such suffering and it's so corrosive. And I want to say, you know, accepting yourself as you are is an act of civil disobedience.
Right on. Oh, stop being inspirational.
All down, everyone. But I'm a believer. I got water to my waist. I am stuck here on an island. of land.